I'm watching Jehovah's Witnesses walk around the neighborhood. But they just got in their car and they're going away from my house, so that's good. I swear I thought they were going to come over here when they seen the garage door open and me walking around. I think they'd get it. I don't want to join their cult. Anyways, welcome back to the channel, guys. So, last video, I started to mock this thing up and, kind of got a plan on how I was going to do this, and, still got a plan. So, these tabs need to get cut off. This is going to come off because we're going to redo this, and we're going to put new tabs. Just had one. Oh, yeah. So I ordered some of these weld tabs. So basically, we're just gonna weld that sucker right on there, and however, maybe straight up and down. Basically, just so it, figure out exactly where I want it, but obviously, I kind of want it on the bottom side, like a factory bumper would be, and then go from there. I get it tacked in place and drill our holes in the bumper, and that should work for that. Since we're on the topic of welding and all of that, yes, I know it's a disaster in here. Someday in my life I'll clean, I swear. Actually, I kind of really want to. I think the old carbon fiber lip is finally gonna go away, because I keep staring at it. I'm like, it's broken. I hold on to it for no reason other than memories, but it's taking up a lot of shelf space. So it's like, I should probably just get rid of that. Maybe even those headlights, because I'll probably never use them. And they're broken. So just get rid of all that crap. And I could use the whole top shelf for all of this junk that is sitting here. Like, I just got this freaking new riv nut tool straight from Amazon, made in China. I don't think I paid a tariff on it. I don't know. But we got this fancy thing, which I plan on using to fix the catch can, because right now the way it's bolted down, it'd take an hour to get the thing unbolted. So we're just gonna put some riv nuts down there so that you can just screw the bolts in, and it's easy to pull the catch can off, because I'd never emptied it, so I don't know how much oil's in there. And I got asked that question one time, like how many times I have to, or how often I have to empty the catch can. Honestly, I have no idea. I've never even tried to empty it. I don't know how much oil's in that thing. I mean, I know it's not full, but yeah, so we got that, but I have nowhere to put it. And then you look at the bench, and the bench is a complete disaster of just things everywhere. I got tools down here. I mean, I got car parts everywhere. I literally look like a hoarder. But I'm getting off topic here. I walked over here to show you guys that I finally invested and got some gas for the trailer to make it MIG, and so we can weld this thing on. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to paint this thing because this is stainless, but it's whatever. I don't care. I'm just gonna take it off. We'll either paint it black, or we'll pour 15 the damn thing. I don't know. So I might as well weld a tab here for the radiator, and probably do something down here too, where this is basically just zip tied to that, as I built this for the, this bolted to the factory core support, or radiator support, when this was still here, or when it was still here, and now it didn't quite line up, and the easiest thing was just to zip tie it in place, so the intercooler was stuck from going anywhere. But we might as well fix that while we're at it too. And I don't know, that's where I'm at. Had to disassemble the Dremel yesterday, and that was like a 2-hour project. Had to take this thing apart and then try to get it back together. I couldn't loosen this up because the lock here was getting worn, so it would just keep spinning. This was on too tight, so I had to take it apart, put a vice grip on it, got it loose, but then putting it back together, it didn't want to go back together right. But it is working. I tested it yesterday. Went and picked up this new fancy quick disconnect collet thing and these cutting discs. So I feel like this is going to be a little bit more easier to handle, you know, cutting this weld out of here and then getting the tab off, and then we'll grind down the welds. But don't want to screw this up, so use something I can handle a little bit easier than a giant cutting disc on a freaking grinder. So anyways, I'm gonna set you guys on a tripod, and I'm gonna get to cutting these tabs off and start figuring where we're gonna put our new ones. Okay, so I got the tabs zipped off of there, and I'm going to show you what I got going on now before we hop back into getting things done. So basically this is going to sit under there like so, basically just replacing the old tabs down there, but this one's longer, so you know, it'll get actually to the bumper. So I figure, you know, come in just enough. So I'm thinking I'm going to take some tape, put it on here, and kind of figure out exactly where I want my hole on both sides. And then I might drill those holes into the bumper first. That way I can line the tab up with that hole underneath here, and then tack it in place on both sides. And then as long as I'm happy with the way everything looks, pull the bumper off of here, and we'll put a bead on each tab. And then technically I think well, for the most part the bumper will be in place, because it's sitting there by itself right now. I thought it was hitting something, but it's not touching any of the pipes. So I'm going to slide you under here. It's not, you can even see, but it's not touching the weight bar or anything. Yeah, I don't know, this is probably terrible, but it's not touching the weight bar. It's not touching the intercooler that I can see. No, it's not touching the intercooler. It's like, so it's not touching anything, and it's just it's pretty much just chilling. I mean, obviously the sides are gonna sag a little bit here because you know, it's not connected to a fender at the exact moment in time, but I'd say it looks pretty good though. I mean, around the headlight there, around the headlight here. So it's just a matter of getting our tabs, and then pretty much the bumper will be where it needs to be, and then I can start working on the fenders and getting the holes lined up for those, and hopefully get those mounted on. And then really after that it's just figuring out if we need to add any support to the bumper, to the fenders. I know a lot of people run quick latches, so I'm gonna look into that, and if there's a spot that we can put quick latches, or we got to build brackets for quick latches, then we'll just do that. But might as well grab the tape, mark some holes, and get to welding. Although I do need to finish setting up the welder. I gotta set up the regulator on the gas, so might take a minute. But for you, it's gonna be like a clip or two. So
2 very boring minutes later.
well, I don't know how to get rid of that gap. And been staring at it for a while. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do there. But I finally got the bumper to fit around the damn headlights, right? I had to take the Dremel to it and sand down the gel coat, some of the fiberglass. And you know how you smell some things in life and then you just like, you don't ever want to smell them again, and then the second you smell them, like 9 trillion memories come back of the last time that you smelt it. Yeah, that was fiberglass. But anyways, just staring at that gap. Okay, so I'm on Jase Composites page. I was just looking at photos of other people with the Exospeed front end, and I got to this guy's car, and it's probably hard, like impossible to see on here, but he's got a gap between the bumper and the hood. And then I went down a little bit more, tried to find another one. Where was it? Which one was it? It was a blue right here. So it has blue EK. Well, he's got a gap between his bumper and hood too, and this thing's clean as shit. So, I don't know. I guess the gap in the bumper is just normal. I don't know. We're just gonna run it. So, we got that debacle somewhat. That's somewhat figured out. It was just I didn't film it, but cooled off finally. I just cut a couple of these tabs down that I bought because they were too big or too long for the bumper. So I chopped them down, to be honest. I was looking at the ones I cut off, and you look at how close this bumper sits to this thing now. After I sanded out where the headlight, it goes around the headlights, now it sits closer to this. Honestly, I don't know if they would have fit. I don't think they went to fit under the bumper. But yeah. Anyways, they're already cut off, grinded off. I've also got another one that I cut to fix the radiator. So I think I'm just about ready to start welding these tabs on, but I should probably measure 50 times and weld once. So that's where we're at. And I gotta clean all the crap up that has dropped along the ground. For me. Alright guys, I'm gonna mark these holes where I'm gonna drill through the bumper. And after that, there's really no going back. So let's hope I don't fucking screw this up.
I know he fucked up.
Alright, so I got the bumper on there. Well, 2 bolts, clearly. Still obviously need to be hooked up to the fenders, and we still got to figure out the damn fenders, which is the next project. For me, it might be a tomorrow thing, but for you guys, it's gonna be the next clip because it's all gonna be in the same video. My goal is to completely have that thing, for the most part, put on, unless we add quick latches later on. Otherwise, I want it pretty much buttoned up. I was looking at it. Suppose I could just show you quick. Underneath these holes here, or the, I should probably take this one off before I break something. The holes on the tabs. Oh, let me set this down. We got it. You still got problems. So the holes here, and I think I'm gonna drill a hole here that matches these. Just brought this with me. But if you guys remember earlier in the video, I showed you this a nutsert tool that I ordered, and just for shits, I might be able to nutsert all of it. It depends on how well the bolt lines up here. But if it lines up pretty well, be able to just nutsert that, and then I'm gonna nutsert here so that I can just run the nice fancy bolt and truss washer right there, and that'll be good to go. I don't know. I think it'll work, but I don't want to put these in now. I mean, I guess I could, but then I end up painting them. I thought it would look nicer if I wait to paint, or wait to put these in until after I paint the whole bar. I don't know. But the only other thing I really got to weld is down here. Just try to make some tabs with this and rework this entire bar, and then get some tabs down here for that. And then I can pull the whole thing off and paint it. Clearly we want to get the fenders mounted before I go and take the bar off. But if I get the fenders mounted next, we should be good to go. And then yeah, and then I can get that bar pulled off, and then probably pour 15 in it or whatever, get it painted and get it all touched up. Like for the tab for the radiator, like I'm gonna take a grinder to that and round the corners and smooth it out and clean it all up and make everything look pretty. I'm gonna weld the underside of all those tabs. Don't give me crap for my welds. I ain't a welder, but I can put 2 pieces of metal together and they'll probably stay. So yeah, but that's where we're at. So I gotta try to figure out these dang fenders. So let's do that.
The next morning.
Alright guys, it's the next day, and I've already started getting bolts, holes, everything drilled. The 2 holes in the fenders here on both sides. Kind of screwed up on that one a little bit. The hole was off a little bit, so I just kind of oblonged it out, but it actually worked in my favor because now I can kind of move the fender around a little bit. This one I was playing with the heat gun, trying to kind of form the fiberglass a little bit to fit a little bit better, but really it's just been a tedious process of trying to get it all to fit together and line up, and kind of a pain, which is why I didn't turn the camera on right away, because had I done that, it'd just be a lot of footage of really boringness, pretty much. So, I mean, it's really what it's going to be now is just kind of getting the fender shaped to where I need it, and then figuring out where to pop the holes to attach the bumper to the fender, and then the bottom portion of the fender there, where I'm going to put probably 1 or 2 screws or bolts through the bottom of the car, and I think I'm going to put riv nuts down there. So I got to put 2 holes in the bottom part of that fender here that tucks underneath the car, basically like so. And then I'll put 2 holes down there, riv nut it so that there's just like a couple 10 mil bolts in the bottom. And then there's the 1 bolt that goes like in the corner of the door, at the top corner of the fender. And then they'll be on, but I'm not gonna, well, I'll probably just put a time lapse up or just throw the camera on time lapse, because otherwise I'll be cutting so much crap out of that clip that it would just be boring, because it's gonna take a hot minute to get this stuff kind of in the right spot, but we're on the right track anyways. So technically the fenders are bolted on, they're just not everything's connected. We just need to tie it all together now. So I'm gonna do that, probably get a fresh battery in this because I think it's about to die, and then we'll just throw up the time lapse, and then hopefully by the time that's done, the fenders, the bumper are all connected, everything's bolted on, and then we can move on to like cutting down the side skirt, because that's gonna have to get cut down because it's gonna run into the fender, and then reattach that, and I guess we'll probably put slicks on it at some point too, and just make sure that everything fits right, put it on the ground, and then at that point I think you can just tear it all down. But anyways, I'm gonna shut up, get back to work. Bad Mosey gets the win. Top 32. Well, here we are. I've got my holes drilled in the bottom. I drilled 1 too many, but it's whatever. And then we just put 2 little nut certs down there. And hopefully you guys can hear me over the TV being up watching Formula Drift. But I screw a bolt in here. And then screw a bolt in over here, wherever. Oh, a pain in the ass to find the hole, you know. There it is. Screw that in there. The fun part was getting these things in the right spot so that the door gap would be right. But I think I got it. So, you know, 4 hours later, after I screwed these freaking bolts in. Alright, yeah, there. Oh, they're snug. Alright, so let me look at our door gap here. And, oh, I think I latched the door. Oh, And what do you know? We're hitting the fender. I think I know why though. Gotta loosen this one up. We pull the fender out a little bit, tighten it back up, and boom. Door doesn't hit. Gap looks fairly normal. And then we've got our bolts here. I don't know if I'm gonna get this one in just because it's really right on the edge, and I'm not really too concerned about that. I didn't have that bolt in on the stock fenders. Gotta turn this down. I don't know, you guys probably can't hear me. I don't even know where the controller is. Quiet. No, quiet. Quiet. Did I get it? I got it. Alright, so back to this. So yeah, I don't know if this bolt's gonna get put in. Come back to that later. It's kind of the same thing with this. Like, the gap between here. But then again, I never hooked this up even on stock fenders. 'Cause even the steel fenders over there, this didn't line up for crap. I mean, they're aftermarket fenders, they're aftermarket freaking headlights. Nothing lines up right on that, so I don't really care about that. But here we just need to basically get this together now, somehow. And then this side will be done. And then we go over and do the other side, which is going to be fun. So, yeah. Here's to doing another fender and a bumper. And this never-ending job of bodywork that I hate.
This is the never-ending story.
Alright guys, so front end is on the car, and all's glory. The hood kind of gets close here, but you know, it's not going to touch it because the hood pin will be up a little bit more and whatever. We'll might be able to pull that over a little bit depending on the bolt. This door did touch a little bit. Gotta readjust a bolt down there or something maybe, but other than that, it is on the car and ready to rip. Put the slicks on it and turn them both ways, and they don't touch anything, so that's a plus. And yeah, so obviously it's one step closer to getting to the track. So next couple things that need to be done, obviously we got to pull his bar back out, get some paint on that, and add a couple tabs for that intercooler down there, but well, that needs to get fixed too, his up pipe. But I just got a new said new pipe show up today, so yeah, got a new pipe for that, so that'll be probably whenever my next video is, fab up that pipe. I'm just gonna replicate the one that's in there. But now that the radiator is more far forward with the tubular support, should hopefully be able to just come straight out, and I won't have to do some goofy turns to avoid the radiator. So hopefully that all works out. The other thing I got to do, I'll have to cut the side skirts down because they're too long. Now they'll run into the fender, so we'll have to cut those down and drill new holes for the third mount up closer to the fender. I mean, basically where the bolts are in here, and they'll just have to move back, 6 inches or something. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Another thing I have to do is that containment pan that I showed in the last video. Got to get that mounted up. It's kind of under the car right now, but it won't work the way I have it sitting under there. But I think we're just going to weld some tabs onto the weight bar and make that work. That'll probably be in the next video as well. So the next video will probably just be some fab and see if I can make things work. But yeah, other than that, it's been a day. It's been like 2 days. It's a whole SD card worth of footage, so I hope this video is like decent. It's gonna take a while to edit, but if you're watching it, that means I already did it. So yeah, I don't know. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs up, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, play the game.